Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Monday, the very first day of November 2021. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And man, we don't have much to start off the week, but in the middle of the week, we'll get ADP, and we got some other things coming up too. As earnings season continues, there's a little bit of a lull today, but we'll talk about those things and more when Dave joins us here coming up next.
Gaga there. Good morning. It's 8:39 now, 21 before 9. Time to check in on your money and see how Wall Street is treating your IRA and 401k this morning. So far, looks like they're being pretty kind to it. Let's head down to Statler Financial Services' very own Phillip Statler, who's on the line this morning. Phillip, good morning. I trust you had a good weekend.
Hey, I did. It was a busy weekend, Dave. A busy weekend starting out down at church, cooking for a lot of folks for the Fall Fun Festival. I think we went through like 1,000 hot dogs, 1,000 or sausage, and hey, a good turnout for sure.
You know, it was interesting. On Friday, I was doing the news, and I was saying, I don't know whether it's pent-up demand or what, but the town was jumping. I mean, there was something going on for the Halloween and All Hallows Eve and All Saints weekend, literally on every street corner. Your church was one of them, and it seems like I could have filled up 10 minutes worth of news just with the various Halloween weekend events that were going on this weekend. It was busy for all of us.
Yeah, I think so. I think I heard that the folks at the city estimated that on the circle for that on Friday that they had between like 6,000 and 9,000 people up there.
Yeah, it was a crowded Halloween on the circle, a real big success. And this weekend is going to look an awful lot like it, kind of leading in it. It's going to be your Kiwanis Club's running its pancake breakfast this Saturday, right?
That's right, man. I appreciate the opportunity. So we're doing our pancake breakfast at the First Baptist Church Fellowship Hall from 7 to 10. Saturday morning, so you can come get a pancake breakfast before you go out to the Art League Festival and check out all the wares there.
Yeah, shop on a full stomach because the Kiwanis Club will feed you just fine on Saturday morning. Yeah, back on what we're supposed to be talking about today, looking at the chart on Friday, I don't really need to read the regular news because the blue chip indexes pretty much track what the odds are of that stimulus bill getting through Congress. At the end of the day, it became painfully obvious nothing was going to happen for a few days, and the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow all set new records. I mean, who needs headline news services? We've got the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the Standard & Poor's, right?
That's right. I mean, we ended up October in pretty good shape, but let's remember now we're bouncing off of a terrible September, and
Yes.
so that was good that we did make that bounce back. But we're still looking at probably a lot of volatility between now and the end of the year as we still deal with the infrastructure, we deal with inflation, and we deal with trying to get people back to working in the jobs that need them.
Absolutely. And the lead story, as much as anything in the economy this morning, is all the people that are saying, screw this, I'm not going back to work. And just, because of the vaccine mandates, American Airlines canceled 14.3% of its flights on Sunday, according to data from the company. And while they're doing the same thing Southwest did, they're saying, oh, there were weather problems and we had staff shortages. But you and I both know it's because they're saying, doggone it all, we don't want to get vaccinated, and a whole bunch of pilots and flight crews are sitting out.
Well, that's true. And that's another area of concern is public safety. New York City fire stations, 26 of them have closed right now because of a mass basically sick out or workout that these people are not going to get vaccinated. And that's New York City's rule. You got to be vaccinated to work. And so there are 26 fire stations. The Los Angeles County Sheriff warns that if they continue down this path, he will lose 45% of his employees. So a lot of issues coming up because of that. And it's all stems towards the vaccination. And it's looking like it could be very concerning for us in public safety.
This nation does not respond well to being told what to do. We're up to like 70% vaccinated in Florida, which isn't as high as we want to be by any measure. And before we went on the air, I've always said I'm pretty adamant about vaccinations. I think not getting vaccinated is a very bad idea. That on the other side of the fence would be, though, I will never feel good about ordering you to. And that's kind of the position a lot of these public safety services are finding themselves in.
Yeah, it is, and it is. It's gonna be interesting as we progress through the next couple of weeks. What does that do to our employment numbers, our first-time unemployment numbers? Those could be drastically affected by some of these things.
There were a couple of states that have done, that have passed legislation to allow people that were laid off because of refusing to take a vaccine to claim unemployment benefits. So your point's taken. That may very well result in a few bumps in the first-time claims numbers over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and we'll just have to wait and see what that really looks like. But more importantly is the really and truly the position it's putting the public in terms of safety, and that's sometimes you got to figure out which safety is better. And I really hate to see my house burned down or something else burned down because we don't have firemen.
Yeah, it's a rock and a hard place situation. Like I said, it's in our culture in this country. We don't like being bossed around as a nation or individually, and that's as much as anything. And I think the governor of Arkansas put it well when they first implemented the mandates. He said, "Look, this is just making the case harder for me to sell. I'm trying to sell people and getting the doggone things. This just gives me more resistance from the corners that don't want to take it to begin with."
That's right. And we're going to continue to see that. And we saw, I can't remember how many lawsuits I saw that have actually been filed. I think there's 4 lawsuits incorporating like 26 different states suing the federal government. And so we'll have to see how those play out. But those may be the saving grace to our public safety.
It may very well be the salvation, just if it gets outlawed. And I'm in that situation where I don't know which way I want it to go. I think the mandates are awkward and not convenient, and I don't like them. But at the same time, we've got to increase the vaccination count in one way or the other. I just don't think that bossing people around is the way to do it necessarily. If folks can't tell, it's a real quiet day. The stock market isn't open yet, obviously. Friday, all the reports were done before the market opens of any great consequence. Because it is Monday, the government isn't giving us any information early in the morning. Construction spending will come out at 10 a.m. this morning, and that's going to be kind of an interesting bump on the market as to what it's doing to the construction industry.
It will be, Dave. And, last month it was basically even, flat. And this month it's just expected to go up by about 0.4%. And so we'll be interested to see how that comes out, because that will give us some indication of real estate and construction. So that'll be a good number there.
That is true. President Biden over in Europe at this moment in time, which means there's no pressure being applied to Congress to do anything. You could kind of see it, and I was alluding to it when we started this effort out this morning. We know that the markets aren't necessarily in love with the spending spree the Democrats are proposing, whether it's a good idea or bad idea. The markets aren't happy with it on a short-term basis, so the future of that bill tends to track by the markets in opposite directions. At the end of the day on Friday, it became obvious absolutely nothing was going to happen for a few days, and we ended up with 3 records in a row. The Dow up 89 points to a new record, the Standard & Poor's up by 9 to a new record, and NASDAQ up by 50 to a new closing record. It in a vacuum, it almost looks like everything's coming up roses on Wall Street, doesn't it?
Well, it does right now. I mean, we're starting off November looking really good today. As we look at what the indexes are starting off to, we could end up with another record closing high today if we continue on the path that we seem to be starting out on.
Absolutely. This week is going to be an important week because the way the month fell, and this being the first of the month, it's going to be Friday. The Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rush of employment information is going to include ADP's private sector employment estimate on Monday as to how well we did during the month of October, first-time claims on Thursday, and then the fabled official unemployment rate for the nation on Friday. And that one, I got to assume there's going to be kind of diminished expectations on, because the federal unemployment rate measures mid-month to mid-month, so it's actually going to be measuring the middle of September to the middle of October, and that included that little end of September crisis we had with a whole bunch of job losses off of the Delta variant. Do we have any idea of an expectation as to what we're expecting on employment?
It's always interesting, Dave, when I look at ADP and then I look at the federal non-farm payrolls. And so at this point, they expect them. So ADP expects their number to be worse, down from last month.
Last dunk.
Yeah, well, but remember, ADP thought there was going to be over $500,000 new jobs. So they're expecting about 385,000 right now. And then we contrast that to the non-farm payrolls numbers expected on Friday. And the previous month, September, they expected 190, or we had 194. This month, they expect 450,000 with an unemployment rate of about 4.7%. We'll see if we can get to that number.
It'll be an interesting thought if we do, and it's going to make it a really eventful week for the last 3 days of the trading week anyway. Again, resetting the table, green ink on Wall Street when we closed on Friday, and based upon what I'm seeing on the futures, we've got a pretty good chance of continuing that momentum. 45 minutes before we start trading, Phillip, what are we doing?
Right now, we got a fair amount of green ink out there, Dave. We got the Dow up a little over 1/3%. That's $130. You got the S&P 500 up 1/4%. That's a little over $11. NASDAQ up a little over 1/10%. So not a huge jump there for them. The commodities front, we've got silver and gold moving in the upward direction. Silver up 1/4%, gold up 1/3%. Silver's finally back over 24, barely. And then crude oil, man, it has made some progress this weekend, Dave, up 0.8% to $84.25 a barrel.
That's the one we don't like seeing green, but unfortunately it's going up too. Overseas markets, mixed bag in the Asian rim. The mainland Chinese markets and Hong Kong markets generally off, but fractionally. Japan had a pretty good day. They were up the better part of 3%. Europe's looking at our futures and our Friday progress and saying, hey, that's cool. They're up about 1/3% across the board over there. It's one of those times where we don't know what's going to go at the end of the week. We know that we've got some record highs going on, but volatility is also going up. That means retirement funds need some stability. How do I find you to find it?
Dave, they can give us a call at 863-382-0037. Walk through our core retirement design to help design the retirement you always dreamed of. And then check out our website, statlerfinancial.com. Join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730 and 95.3 FM.
All righty, back here again tomorrow morning. Phillip, thank you so much. You have a good day, all right?
All right, buddy, you too.
Thank you. Be well. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler from the pitch.
Again, folks, I want to thank you for joining us and hope you had a great weekend. Remember, our new trademark process, our core retirement design to help design the retirement you always dreamed of. To walk through that process, give us a call, 863-382-0037. I look forward to your call. Take care. Until tomorrow. Bye now.